Hi, I'm Kili, also known as Kelly.
And I'm Feely, also known as Alex,
Welcome to our corner of the Shire,
where we will show you how to bring Middle Earth
into your daily life to keep you
a happy hobbit.
Welcome to this episode of Happy Hobbit. As our more recent viewers and longtime viewers will probably have noticed, I am a big gardener and I just adore what I call my Hobbit garden. And I love growing vegetables and fruits and herbs and pretty much everything that I can. This year I branched out and I started focusing on growing an abundance of flowers as well. Not only do I love having them as bouquets, but they just bring me so much joy to see and of course as food for pollinators. Now, when you're a gardener, you move with the seasons, and even in our mild climate here in our corner of the Shire, sadly there is just not much to do in the winter time, and I really start to miss my plants. Yes, I have some houseplants, but they don't need nearly as much care. One thing that I'm going to try this year to help preserve the colors of summer and make flowers last all year long is to press some flowers. So I went ahead and picked these in the garden. I have never pressed flowers with a flower press before, but I saw an episode of a show that airs in the UK called Gardener's World, featuring one of my all-time favorite gardeners, Monty Don, and they featured a lovely young woman who had been pressing flowers for quite some time, and she presented her tips. So I'm going to be relying on her knowledge. And one of the things she pointed out was that simpler forms, like this Coreopus here has quite a simple form, tend to work best, as do flowers that aren't very juicy. So I went ahead and went out into my garden and I selected not only this Coreopus, but also a handful of other flowers. This one I chose because not only because it's small, but because I could see a bud growing right below. And the nasturtium was trickier. Nasturtiums are very delicate, but I wanted to make sure that I picked one that didn't have a bug living in it. This flower was easy to choose because its stem was already damaged, and while I was out there I realized, why not preserve some leaves as well? So I really like the textures and the shape and the colors of our purple pole bean leaves, so I went ahead and picked one of those as well. As ever, I'm excited to see how this project turns out, and I'm even more excited to have you come along with me on the journey. The other day I was doing some pruning in the garden, and I sadly had to trim down some of the borage, and I usually wait to do that until it has stopped flowering because it is so beloved by bees. But I wasn't ready to bring the plants into the flower press yet, so I made what may have been a mistake. I stuck them in our kiddie pool that we keep for the dogs. So they stayed fresh, but unfortunately some of the flowers detached. So I'm going to try to press those as individuals. But the instructions did say that you need to make sure that the flowers aren't wet when you try to press them. So I have them here gently drying on this little tea towel. And oh yes, we had a windstorm recently and it knocked over a sunflower that I have in the house in a vase now, but it occurred to me that you can also press petals. I don't think you always need a flower press to press flowers. As a child, I often did it with heavy books, but I did go ahead and order this flower press just so I could feel, I don't know, extra fancy. And thankfully it's very simple and it was really easy to put together. So this kit came with pre-cut cardboard and blotting paper. And also a cute little pair of tweezers that you're meant to use like this, I believe. So you arrange your flowers, and one thing that I don't know, and this is something I'm just going to have to learn as I go, is when I have a flower like this, I think it's just going to get pressed on its side because it's really difficult to make it open up, and when it does open up, it doesn't really look like a nasturtium anymore. So I have a feeling there's going to be some trial and error. But if I set it down like this, how would I want it? I mean, I'll try it. I don't think I really need the tweezers. Put the coreopus like that. I can't remember the name of this one, but I think it's a type of daisy. And then the little itty bitty guy. My leaf. And then I'm going to take, I'm still a little bit wet. Put the borage petals. You know what this is starting to remind me of? One of my best friends growing up used to do scanner art with her scanner. And she would set objects like this onto her scanner and then basically take pictures of them. Because that looks really pretty. Sorry, I keep forgetting to hold my hands down under the lens of the camera. This one's trying to curl. And just like gardening, it's an important reminder / lesson that there's no such thing as perfect, especially in the natural world. They will turn out however they will turn out. This one, it's got some stuff stuck on it from while it was floating in the baby pool, I think. Or maybe no, that might have just been the dead blossom. Right? I think I thought I was going to have a lot more room than I am going to have. Put this one. Put it like this. And, might not have room after all for all these. The little hairs. If you've ever grown beans before, they've got little hairs on their leaves. Okay. I think we'll try that. It looks so pretty just as it is. It looks so pretty. Oh, hobbity! So now the instructions say to place another sheet of blotting paper on top, then the cardboard. So, I mean, this really is an experiment. I should have asked Bard for advice. He sent me some flowers that he pressed just in a book once in the mail. And his turned out perfect. What I'm going to try to do is line the blotting paper up with the cardboard. And then I'm going to put it down at an angle so that if it's pressing the petals, it's going to be pressing them in the direction to show the center of the flower. Let's see. Okay, I obviously don't know what's going on down there. Should I peek? I think... Oh no, look, they're getting crowded. Oh, sorry, I didn't know you were attached. Oh dear. No, they don't want to hold their shape. Maybe I should have just pressed down when I had the chance. Okay, I'm just gonna have to go for it. They smell nice. And then now you take the piece of wood, line it up with the screws, and then it's as simple as you put on these wing nuts. Oops. Not to be confused with wing nut films. I'll let you guys wonder what that is, and those in the know can leave it in the comments. Might be called wing nut pictures, I can't remember exactly. And the neat part about a flower press and why I actually decided to get one was because you can actually layer. So if I had more, which I do have more, I could just keep going and sandwich more and more. Okay, so now I'm just going to tighten these. Not sure how tight they need to be. Definitely going to make them all snug, because that's putting the pressure down on the plants. I think that's pretty good. Feels like the weight of a heavy book on it. Oh my gosh, they're peeking. You can see them a little. Oh, that one's sticking out. That's okay. I wonder if I'm supposed to make it tighter. No, because they have to be allowed to do their thing. Okay, there we go. So I changed my mind. I actually am going to add another layer that's going to be these other little bits of borage, because I just love their swirling shapes. Yeah, they've got some gunk on them from stuff that was in the pool. I'm not happy about that, but don't know if I'll have room for all of them. This also fulfills a psychological need for me to like not be wasteful, especially with stuff in the garden. If I'm taking from nature, then at least I'm utilizing it in a lot of different ways, because I've been having a rough day. We've had cucumber beetles show up, and I'm really hoping they haven't spread bacterial wilt to our cucurbits, which are pumpkins and squashes and cucumbers. But if they did, I'm in big trouble. And I have been just removing the beetles to far away, and then also feeding the blossoms with the beetles in them to our chickens, but our chickens are kind of special and they don't always eat the food that we give them. I feel the need to turn myself into a bounder, because I just, before I started filming, I killed 2 cucumber beetles in cold blood. And I feel really bad about it. But it's because I wanted to protect our garden and also I found out that bacterial wilt can survive, the bacteria that causes it can survive in the soil for up to 3 years. So I really felt like it was an us versus them scenario, but that said, I'm really not happy about it. I'm not good at gardening in that way. I don't know if I'm like a gentle gardener or what, but I really struggle with having to kill things. And apparently I also struggle with wing nuts. Really? Okay, let's do this one first. See, that guy knows how to play. Play nice. Maybe I just struggle with fine motor skills. Or this is the beetles' revenge. Their ghosts are already haunting me. I know pill bugs or someone else will just come and eat their dead bodies, but it's still awful. Like, who am I to kill them? Okay, it's pretty good. I'm wondering if I should tighten it as time goes by and they get dehydrated. I'll come back and I'll check and see if these can go even tighter later. I'm actually a little bit skeptical about the instructions that came with this kit. They're in very unique English, and they say to just come back in 3 to 5 days, but the young woman who I saw in Gardener's World said that she writes the date on it and comes back in 3 weeks. So I think I'm gonna trust the young woman from Gardener's World over these warm hints in the directions. I am really hoping that they turn out, and would like to keep doing this as we get more flowers throughout the summer, because once they're dried, they should maintain their color, and I'm excited to use them for all kinds of crafts. You can use dried flowers in candle making, in card making, in decor, even just for your wall if you want to, and I think it's going to be a really fun therapeutic way to keep the Hobbit garden alive even through the winter months. So in typical Kili fashion, here I am 2 months later, finally coming back to check in on the dried flowers. Okay, here we go, the moment of truth. Still struggling with the wing nuts. Okay, so this isn't the moment of truth, this is approaching the climax. These definitely, I could have tightened them. They definitely got a little loose. So maybe the flowers won't be as flat as they could be. Alright, here we go. This layer should be the borage. Oh, wow. I can't get over how much it shrank. Wow, so it definitely turned browner. It just got so much skinnier. It's still really pretty though. It smells nice. It smells very planty. Wow, okay. There's a little tiny mite on it. How the heck did that little guy survive? Well, the flowers didn't really make it. Alright. Okay, now the real moment of truth. Here we go. Flowers themselves. I'm nervous! Oh, some are definitely sticking to this. Okay. So that's the nasturtium. That's the sunflower petal. That's that little guy, the damaged stem that I don't know its name. Huh. Interesting. The little borage flowers kind of look like aliens. The leaf really held up well. I mean, this one's unique. These are really cool looking, even though they're, you know, from the side. Oh, so that was the flower attached to the borage. Wow. Interesting results. Well, the results weren't quite as colorful and picturesque as I had hoped. That just means I need to try it again. And as we move further into autumn, I think I might try pressing some leaves and see how they turn out, because I really like how the purple pole bean leaf turned out. Thank you so much for joining me on this flower pressing adventure that turned out kind of into an ASMR adventure, I noticed as I was editing this summer's footage. So I hope you enjoyed it, I hope it left you a happy hobbit, and I hope it piqued your curiosity to try pressing flowers and leaves and other natural parts of the natural world yourself. As ever, thank you so very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. So I'm actually a little bit skeptical. Need a new tripod. So I'm actually a little bit skeptical.
I've gotta go get Missy. She's waking up from her nap.
Is there a baby Missy in here? Is there a baby Missy? Honey, how was your sleep? How was your quiet time? Hi, baby. Oh, did you have a good rest? Did you have a good rest in your Zen den? Yeah. Did you have a good rest, my love? Yeah, there's weird flower stuff in there. There's weird flower stuff in our room. Isn't that so funny? It's so funny, hon. It's so funny. Look at the weird flower stuff.